Hello, everybody. It's me, Lemoni. Happy Thursday. We're back with another video, and I want to cover a topic today that a lot of people are asking me about. I think it's a common issue right now in New World, given the state of the game, and we're talking expertise. Now, I want to give you today what I believe to be the most effective method of increasing your expertise so that you can get higher gear scores, so that you can actually hit the recommended gear score to be running mutators. It is a grind, but I think this is going to be the most effective way. It might not be the most enjoyable way, but I think it's your best bet in order to get the expertise that you need so that you can get the pieces you need so you can actually start hitting mutators. There's a huge chunk of the population that is not at 600 gear score, meaning they're going to be doing reduced damage and taking a ton more damage, and it's not even worth for them to run. So if you're a person who's solo, or you're a person who just needs more expertise in general, you've been a little bit behind, it's been tough to actually hit that, you've had to sweat pretty hard, I got you. I'm going to explain what I would do personally and what we've been doing to boost up a friend. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this. But before we start, I just want to say thank you for the support that you give me every single day. I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Please keep doing that weird YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your grandma, your grandpa, everybody you know. I would appreciate it. And as always, follow the socials. We stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting around 10:30, 11 a.m. kind of Central Time, and we go for about 5 hours. Some days I'm going to have to start going at noon just because of meetings, school, all that stuff. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok, join the Discord, join the company if you're interested in Eden. Just let me know, and we can get things rolling. All right, so without further ado, let's talk expertise. What do I think is the most effective way to bump it? So if you've been playing this patch, you'll notice that a lot of people are running expeditions and they're charging significantly less for running those expeditions. Now, why is that? Well, they've reduced the actual crafting material cost of tuning orbs. You can now buy one from your faction vendor. You can trade lodestone, you can trade chisels, and so there's a lot less that you actually have to do in order to be crafting your keys. So what does that mean? It means key prices have dropped significantly to the point of when people are selling spots, you will net more gold than you actually spend, meaning it is worth to just spam Laz and Gen. So this is going to get me into my point of what is the most effective way of increasing expertise. Not going to lie to you, it is nonstop running either Gen or Laz. Personally, I prefer and I would suggest running Laz. It's a faster speed run. There's more loot. There's more loot drops. Personally, that's what I've experienced and what we've seen through boosting up one of our friends. You can run Gen if you have the keys or if you prefer it, but regardless, it's going to be chain running expeditions. With all of the changes, the increased loot drops, you get an insane amount of expertise bumps compared to if you were just gathering Gypsum. So what I'm going to say is, if you really want to min-max this, don't even bother going for your daily Gypsum. Don't even bother going for Topaz or Obsidian. It's just not going to be worth it. So with the most recent patch, you can just keep running expedition after expedition after expedition after expedition after expedition, and you'll make gold, you'll get shards, you'll get potential gear, and it's not the most intriguing way to do it, but you will see a much faster increase than if you started doing, OPR or running for Topaz or running for Obsidian. Now, on the topic of Gypsum, though, what I will say is the one thing you can do is you're going to be getting a lot of Sapphire Gypsum because you get them from completing expeditions. Now, what are we actually going to do with that? Well, you can now craft multiple Gypsum casts with the same Gypsum per day. So meaning I will get multiple Sapphires if I'm chain running expeditions, like 3, 4, 5, as you keep doing them. And you can use those to craft casts, which then you can use to craft expertise. So the only real Gypsum we're going to be focusing on is the one from expeditions, right? As ridiculous as that sounds, that's just going to be our best way. We'll just keep chain running, craft those casts as you get them, whatever's easiest, and just keep focusing on the pieces that you need to bump, all right? In a nutshell, that's what it is. Just chain run your expedition over and over and over and over again, and you will see the amount of time that you have to do in your quick 15-minute speed run of a Laz compared to, all right, I just ran around and grabbed all my Gypsum and then I ran a chest run and then I did this. If you're looking for pure time efficiency, expeditions are where they're at. It's just there's nothing that comes close right now. So now it brings me to my next point of there's still a ton of value in running a full chest run rotation each day. Now, why is that? Honestly, in my opinion, what I've seen is we get a lot of accessory drops from running chest runs. You'll see a lot of those old earrings, old rings, old amulets, right? And in those expeditions, you really don't see as much, and there's not as much of an opportunity. So that's where chest runs, for me, are going to come in. So not only will you start to see some expertise bumps, it's not going to be as efficient as just chain running your expeditions, but you will see accessory gear score bumps. And that is why I think they're super significant and nice to do. So not only do you have the chance of getting these increases just in general, but you see a higher frequency of accessory drops out in the world compared to just chain running a normal expedition. Now, the one caveat I will say is if you do happen to do M1s, you'll see a ton of like amulet or ring drops depending on the expedition you're in. Like right now in in Dynasty Mutator 1, you're seeing a ton of earrings and a ton of necklaces. So like that's another way that you could really pinpoint them if you need them. But I think to properly optimize it, you're going to get the most weapons and gear while you're running your Laz or Gen, and you will start to see earrings, amulets, and rings more often as you're opening up chests. And then you'll just get some supplemental increases. And then too, if you start running things like Merc, you might get a couple portals here and there, and then you can eventually grab the Gypsum. So it's not going to hurt to do your chest runs. Are they necessary? Absolutely not. You could just literally, in the amount of time it takes you to run a chest run, just keep spamming your expeditions if you're just trying to get your gear score up. But I think if you're really looking to optimize it and be the most efficient, you're going to have to throw some chest runs in to really get your accessories and get even more, and maybe even just throw in a little bit of diversity while you're grinding. It's a long slog, I promise, but you can do it. I believe in you. So what is the TLDR? What is the, if you didn't feel like watching this whole video and you're here from the bookmark, what is the most efficient way to grind expertise in 1.3? It's not Gypsum. It's not PvP. It's literally just running expeditions over and over and over and over again, right? You have so many drops that are coming out of those because they've increased drop rates. You'll see the most gear score increases or expertise increases, from those runs because of those drops. But the thing is, the amount of time you have to put in is just way more efficient. And the other piece of it is because they've changed so much those tuning orbs and how easy it is to get them, people are charging, 800 to 1,000, maybe even 500 gold per run. In general, just so you all know, you will net about 1,200 gold just in drops on the ground from one of those runs. So regardless, as long as you're paying 1,000 gold, you're going to net profit, I promise you, and it'll be worth it. So with that being said, if you really want to optimize it for time, chain run expeditions. Now, to supplement your chain run expeditions, what I would say is throw in a world tour of chests to start getting your accessory drops. You will see more amulet, ring, and earring drops of those old dusty, amulets, earrings, and rings coming out of the world tour chests. All right. And if that really doesn't tickle your fancy, if you're really like, I don't want to do a chest run, then just go ahead, keep spamming expeditions. If you really truly want to optimize your Gypsum, here's what I'm going to say you do. You're going to keep getting your Gypsum from running your Laz or Gen spams, so keep just making casts with that. If you want to each day, you can throw on your Topaz potion to try and get some Topaz ones. And then the third one, I guess if you looked at my previous video about getting Gypsum, get your cooking up to 200 so you can start getting aptitude containers and at least get an emerald one too. It's just going to supplement your grind journey a little bit more, but Gypsum is not really the main focus. It is far more supplemental in the 1 to 600 grind or the 500 to 600 grind, but Gypsum becomes vastly more important once you've actually hit 600. Now, let's say you've hit 600 and this is going to apply 1 to 600 expertise bumps. What do? Right? Are you going to keep crafting your casts? Are you going to, keep grinding dungeons? Here's what I'm going to tell you. You will have to run mutators, and you're going to have to grind a lot of like M1, M2, M3, and keep getting your Umbral shards, and it's going to be a grind. But here is what I want to say. Save your casts, okay? So keep using the Gypsum that you get. If you want to grind it every day and get your Gypsum in all kinds of different ways, go for it. But what I'm going to tell you is save your casts until your pieces are about 620-ish. Don't burn them on opening up for Umbral shards at a 600 piece. So for those of you who don't know, if you open up a cast once you're 600 expertise in something, gives you Umbral shards. But what they don't tell you always is that as you increase your gear score in that slot, you will get a lot more Umbral shards. And by the point you hit like 620, you're getting, when you open it, about 100 Umbral shards per, right? So it's going to be way more efficient for you to just start stockpiling your casts instead of getting like 3 at a time, to burn them when you have a higher gear score, meaning you will have on-demand gear score increases for gear swapping, and it's just going to be way more effective for you. So that's my personal pro tip once you are 600 plus for Umbral shards. Be ready to grind mutators at that point. That's going to be your only source of expertise bumps, and then save your casts. So that's what I have for you today. Short and sweet, but this is a question I'm getting nonstop of: how do I increase my expertise? How do I get to 600? What do I need to do to be the most efficient and to get to 600 gear score? Just grind expeditions, people. All right? Keep it in there. Keep grinding. Keep your head in it. You can do this. I believe in you. There is great things coming. I promise. I have faith. And just keep it going. If you ever need help with anything, or if you need questions, feel free to contact me in whatever way you have, and I will respond and try to help you out to the best of my ability. So, as always, I want to say thank you to every single one of you for watching. I appreciate you. If you want to join our Discord, it's linked below. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, join us on Eden, join the company, whatever you want to do. And if you want to support me directly, feel free to hit up my Patreon. What do I do on my Patreon? Early video releases. I do extra input. It's another way to contact me. Whatever you want to do, I just put extra stuff up on there. So, as always, thank you to all of my Patreons. Thank you, Jacob, Thuggius, Shane, Gill, Anarino, Jerome, Nathaniel, Thonar, Joseph, Generic Guy, Ralph, Bob, Florian, Blue Beagle, GDB, Jake Kitchens, Dexter, Rich, Josh, Michal, Nade, Rich, Somanex, and 247 Managed Network Solutions. Thank you all for your support, but thank you to every single one of you just for watching this video. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you to every single one of you for being you.